Antoinette Sayeh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're the director of the IMF African Department.
Yes.
On October 29th, the government of Ghana and the IMF will host a conference on regional financial integration in West Africa. What is the purpose of this conference?
This is a regional conference that will bring together senior policymakers from the economic community of West African state countries in West Africa, as well as international experts from international institutions from the private sector to exchange views on regional financial integration, the opportunities there, and to discuss the prospects of mobilizing more long-term financing for infrastructure.
What are the key challenges to regional financial integration in West Africa?
I'd say that there are both benefits and challenges. Benefits, of course, are the significant contribution that deeper financial sectors can make to growth. Financial integration can certainly help to mobilize savings, can reduce the cost of credit to countries in the region, and can also widen the options for financing to both public sector participants as well as private sector representatives. So significant opportunities there. Of course, risk and challenges as well that need to be managed. And risk as banks work across national borders and deal with more complex instruments. The challenge for supervisory authorities and central banks increases. And so West African central banks and authorities need to work to position themselves to deal with potential financial distress in countries that can spill over into other countries as a result of financial integration.
Ghana is often praised for being an African economic success story. What are the country's key achievements?
Ghana has actually grown quite robustly in the course of the last 20 years and grown in a relatively inclusive fashion. Ghana's per capita income growth in the course of that period has been significant. Ghana has made considerable progress, is on track to achieve most of its Millennium Development Goals, and the proportion of the population living below $1.25 a day has dropped significantly in Ghana. On the Millennium Development Goals, there's still work to be done, for example, in further increasing access to clean water and sanitation. But even there, Ghana has made considerable progress from some 53% access some 20 years ago to now 83% of its population with access to clean water and sanitation. So significant progress indeed by Ghana. More work to be done, of course, and it will require, of course, continuing to grow robustly, but also growing in a way that is more inclusive.
There's a lot of talk of African countries reaching emerging market status in a few years. What would Ghana have to do to achieve such a status?
I just talked about some of the significant progress Ghana has made, including in its business environment and in governance. And Ghana would need to build on its achievements to actually make further progress towards emerging market status. Doing that requires doing more to expand manufacturing and high-value agriculture. And to do that, also making significant improvements in infrastructure, and as well as in social indicators and education. And doing that, Ghana has an opportunity with natural resources coming on stream and oil and gas, and to take all the best practice that there has been in some countries to really make sure that resources from natural resources are invested in a way that helps that structural transformation that will help Ghana to get to an emerging market status. Ghana will need to build on its considerable achievements in the course of the past 2 decades. One of the things that we'll have to work on, and that is fairly urgent, of course, is also to respond to a world of increased uncertainty. and dealing with the vulnerabilities that Ghana currently has in this more difficult and challenging world environment will be one of the things that are important to its success in reaching emerging market status.
Thank you for doing this interview with us, Antoinette.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.